when you go to the business world, you see quite clearly that most entrepreneurs don't work alone. There are very, very few of these, and they're usually working in a very a good team and collaboration. It's not only that very talented people are in this initiative or an innovation project or startup. It's the collaboration and the way that they could really utilize each other, to overcome this unknown roller coaster, I would say. It's the only way they can really handle it, because many people, when they think about, innovation and startups and this like domain, they think, yeah, it's like you need to be very smart. That's the first thing that comes to mind, because you're thinking differently, because you have other ideas, you can manage it like technically, and you're the best technical team there. But actually the mental capabilities that are needed from someone who's doing change are so much more, as I see it, than just being a smart guy, which is important, but it's not all the story, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So agree with that. I think that being a smart guy or girl, or however you genderly,
Right. Yeah, that's very important.
however you tag yourself, I think that the entrepreneurs, as you bring them, they are hugely admirable people, because of course they are very smart, but primarily kind of the dominant feature, if you were, is their willingness to do. So if you stay in the domain of thinking, you tend to spin. You tend to get caught in analysis. So we're going to get it perhaps into more detail on the sale model that I developed for my book Change Ahead. And actually what the sale model does is it connects now and the future, and thinking and doing, right? And the magic sweet spot between connecting where you are now and where you want to go, and thinking and doing, is the actual moment when the rubber hits the road and you do something. And I think that entrepreneurs today, so in this day and age, right, entrepreneurs are those who dare to take the step. And to put a kind of question mark on startups as the ideal form of working, I'd just like to say that most startups fail. Actually, it's more than 99% of startups fail. We call those stall ups. Yeah? So they stall. And those that scale because today they have the ability of creating a culture, of creating a movement, of creating something that others want to join and contribute to through their specific capabilities, through their personal, authentic questions that they have with which they want to contribute to push this purpose forward. In the industrial age, this was not the case. So in the industrial age, we were much more driven by inventiveness than by ingenuity. So you invented something, you went to the patents office, you patented it, and it was yours to exploit forever and ever and ever. The consequence of this exploitation and resource extraction model, which we had in the industrial age, made that we would delegate work by delegating instructions on how to precisely reproduce and scale what was been invented in terms of process, product, what have you, even service, right? What happens today is that it's much more nuanced. And so just transferring the way of doing things is no guarantee that that is what would come out at the end of the process. And that is why scaling is such a complex topic these days, because it's not just about knowing how to do it, but it's really about integrating what the company is trying to bring into the world in whichever order of business, whether it's NGO or for profit, it doesn't matter. Profit is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a consequence of engaging in the movement, of people joining the purpose, of people being interested in the value that is being created. And what is changing is the definition of value, and therefore the way we look at the actual act of value creation. And this is really a big topic of our time, because this engages me as in my innovation heart to say, okay, but if this is happening, then how are we going to organize in order to do this, in order to achieve better results for everyone? Because I think that if you are innovating for the sake of creating a profit, this may not be the first question that rises. The question is much more related to growth.